Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about Season 2 of the hearings and what's likely to come up in September. The committee has announced there will be more hearings in September, and people are going to kind of wondering what they're going to be about. They haven't really said. My guess is that the primary focus is going to be bringing in information about people who are not in political office or government and tying it in. They will probably also work to solidify the ties between the elector scheme, the militant groups, fundraising, outside pressure, all of this stuff, and showcase it more clearly. They're already talking about issuing a subpoena for Ginny Thomas, that is the wife of Justice Clarence Thomas. We also know that the committee has held information related to members of Congress that hasn't been published yet, that hasn't been put out by the committee yet. The committee early on kind of gave a shot across the bow to the Republican Party and said, hey, y'all need to do the right thing. And the Republican Party didn't do it. They're convinced they can ride this out. There's a lot of information that I think is going to come out in these hearings that people who are currently in Congress probably don't want to, and probably thought that the committee would kind of look the other way on. I don't think that's true anymore. Now, the thing about this is that these September hearings, they're on a crash course. They are going to run smack into the midterms. This is really bad news for the Republican Party, but it's self-inflicted. They could have handled this problem themselves. They chose not to. The Republican Party could have dealt with this issue immediately after the 6th, and none of this would be happening. But the hearings will go on, and it will probably end up influencing outcomes of the midterms. Now, other developments. I expect pretty prominent members of the Republican Party establishment. So I'm not necessarily talking about those holding political office. And I'm not necessarily talking about Trump when I say this. But I think there are going to be prominent members of the Republican establishment that get arrested between now and the midterms. And I think every time that happens, it's going to send a little wave through the Republican Party. And every time that happens, I think there are going to be people who are going to be like, well, I don't want to be next. And they will disclose what they know to the committee or to the Department of Justice directly. Now, as far as Trump's concerned, I think his lawyers should be looking at Georgia more than looking towards D.C. I think he might be in real trouble there. Now, with all of this going on and the knowledge that Trump definitely wants to pursue another run towards the White House, or at least maintain the appearance that he wants to run again for the White House so he can continue getting money from his base, the hearings are going to draw attention to what happened in 2020. Trump won't want to be seen as the loser who lost. So during the midterms, he will be out there pushing his bogus claims that the majority of Americans already know are false. But he's going to push them to try to energize that base. He will, in essence, try to turn the midterms into a referendum on him, which means he will be pushing Republican candidates for various offices to echo his claims. And this is where you run into that issue of you can't win a primary without Trump, but you can't win a general with him. There is a high likelihood that Trump will push his endorsed candidates to back his statements by threatening to withdraw endorsements or, talking bad about them on social media, because it worked before. That's how he got the entire Republican Party to do his bidding. That's how they wound up in this mess. And the people who are most likely to continue to obey him, they're going to be the names in the press. So they'll be out there pushing these claims, and it will taint the entire Republican Party. It will present a very black and white picture for the American people. The choice will be clear. The Republican Party has made a lot of mistakes over the last few years. The biggest they made was not holding Trump accountable after the 6th, because that's going to have the longest lasting effects. Had they taken control of their party after the 6th, they probably would have been in pretty good shape to run for 2024. The way it's shaping up, I don't think they will be. I think they'll still be recovering from what's going to occur over the next few months. This is all assuming that those who want to protect the institution of the presidency don't win the little tug of war that's going on right now. This is assuming that DOJ or local prosecutors do their job. But I do not see at this point how the Republican Party plans on dodging this. I mean, they seem to be under the appearance that their followers are so enamored and so conditioned to vote Republican no matter what, that it's not going to matter. I don't know that that's true. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.